Hi everybody, Silver Spalding here. How are you? Look at Mom's plant. And I still am shocked about how tall these got. These were 8 to 12 inches tall at Kroger's on those little shelves in the floral area. Goodness. Anyway, how's everybody? I'm gonna drink some coffee and I'm gonna work on my painting. Mom is taking a quick nap really quickly. Let's see, what time is it? She's gonna get up at 2:30. Okay. So a family member came over when Seven had entered rehab. I think he was a week in, they said. And I said, great. He didn't run, you know, because I think the last thing Seven said on his channel before he went in to the rehab was, I'm not going to do what my family wants me to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. I want to be free to be me. I'd rather be with one of you all, anybody who offered him a place to stay, instead of melting here in Cincinnati in a sober living house. And look, Seven went to rehab and he's living in a sober living home. How wonderful to be off the streets, out of the motels, safe under the watchful eye of some awesome professional helpers. Okay. I had tuned in, a few times just to, hear the tone of Seven's voice, just to, if I got a vibe that he's really into it. And for a second I did. I said, look at that. Cool. We don't have to worry about him being on the streets. I don't have to clap back when he's totally shit-faced drunk, telling my business to the world. Awesome. He had mentioned me a couple times. My sister and my brothers are all rooting for me, or something to that effect. And then he had mentioned me again. Everybody on YouTube's, a lot of people are fighting and calling each other horrible names. My twin, my sister, or I think he said my sister. And I said, okay. So he's in my mind. I'm like, okay, he's kind of thinking about us going back and forth all these years. Why did I start my channel? Maybe he's going to start thinking clearly, and maybe I'll get that apology one day. I should have gotten years and years ago. And I've come to the realization I'll never get that apology. Okay. Somebody had, okay, so the family member, I said, in a perfect world, after Seven, was sober for a few months and really, really worked hard on his sobriety and this, that, and the other, and coping skills, I said he could totally come here and have a little efficiency in the basement and use the bathroom downstairs in the kitchen and save money and, and work, until he was able to get his own spot, And my cousin said, do you think that could happen? I said, sure, but Seven needs to work on Seven. I'm not going to put up with his shit anymore, Uh-uh. You know, uh-uh. I'm busting my ass to take care of myself, to keep myself in a good state of mind. I can't be dealing with some tyrannical narcissistic abuser anymore. It's over. It's a wrap. Somebody else had messaged me on Facebook Messenger. If your brother really, 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 really worked hard on his sobriety, would you help him? I said, if I trusted that he was going to stay sober, if I could trust that, if I sneezed incorrectly, he wasn't going to flip out, but first we got to go downtown and talk about the no visit, no contact. That's the first step. I think when Seven and I go down there and we talk before the magistrate and Seven says what he has to say, I say what I have to say, show what I have to show, maybe we can come to an understanding of why I have my channel, why I started my channel, and why Seven needs to understand if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. If you don't want trouble, don't start trouble. You know, both my cousin and, you know, this person on Facebook Messenger, well, your brother says he loves you and he misses you and he respects you and he loves you and he wants to reconnect with you and he wants to reconcile with you. Seven even said that on his channel. I want to reconcile with my sister. I think it's important that we do. And then this video. I'm going to play this. This is super, super important because this is not a good sign at all.
We went to Serpent Mound together with your kids. First time we went there, everybody left, including the security guard, and we owned Serpent Mound. How are you coming at me like that? Well, you know, you're just so sensitive and vulnerable, and, you know, you specified, you know, how hard things have been. Just man up, suck it up, big baby. I'm like, oh, dude. I just wanted to see what the Facebook thing was about. I'm not good at computers, and, you know. And the other person, you know, who I'm pointed about here, well, it's my twin. You know, when I'm down and out and bummed out and staying in motels and drinking and shit sucks and I don't have any money and stuff and I'm uncertain to life, she'll screenshot me at my worst.
When Seven's down and out, when he is broke, when he's stuck in motels, when he doesn't have a job, when he is depressed and totally shit-faced, falling down flat on his face, he loves to take his anger out on me. He loves to take his frustration out on me. He loves to, like when he made a mockery of my suicide attempt. Seven doesn't, he doesn't think of shit like that, of anything that he's done to warrant my reaction. Narcissists hate the reaction from their victims. Especially clapbacks, especially when their victim says, no more, you can't do this anymore. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out every time you do something wrong. Every time you say something wrong. Every time you lie. Seven hates my channel. Hates it.
And do an hour-long video. Here's Sev, look at him, everybody. And then she lies. Because she's killing my mom, who's got Alzheimer's and is trapped in her room all day. I'll be right there, Mom. She doesn't call her mom in real life. She calls her Liz. Nope.
I don't know why Seven said that. Yeah, this whole tantrum that Seven's doing in this video right now, he feels so put out. So he feels so bad about himself that he has to express how he feels about himself onto me and mention my my menopausal weight gain. Anybody going through menopause out there, your weight fluctuates until finally it calms down. Seven's always called me fat and ugly and big nose all of our lives. So, you know, this is the big king baby coming out again, but I was rooting for Seven that he was gonna chill and stop with this behavior. And sadly, he's not.
Not even my mom's sisters, who are debutantes, can come over and visit. Certainly not me and my two brothers. My mom's first child, or her youngest. My two brothers, Shake and Lucky, nobody is allowed to go over and see my mom.
See, Seven, you're not allowed to come over. Oh, I don't want to be around you alone. I'm going to let the magistrate know that. I don't want you around our mom alone. Not for a while. You know, monitored visits sounds really good to me. Visits in public is a safe bet. I just don't think you sound well in this video, and whenever you go off on me, you're usually shit-faced drunk and angry and being kicked out of a house or kicked out of a motel. So I'm going to let this one slide. I'm not gonna, I'm just going to, you've begun your road to recovery. It's hard. Whenever you bring me up and lie and call me fat and this, that, and the other, whenever you say that I'm killing our mom and I'm refusing to let anybody visit her, Sid's in my bedroom making noise. It's because you don't feel good, and I bet you really, really want to drink right now. And I feel bad for you. I really, 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 really do. Fingers crossed that I see real positive change, not just sparkly good words. I want to see real change. I want to hear it in your voice. I want to hear it in how you speak about me. Because you tell people one thing and then you express yourself in the opposite direction on your channel. And that is worrisome. So, everybody, I am going to paint for a while. I'm going to cook lunch for Mom. And I'm going to hope that the groundhog doesn't see his shadow 6 more weeks of winter or 8 more weeks of winter, or does see his shadow. I don't know. What is it? If the groundhog sees his shadow, there's 8 more weeks of winter or 6 more weeks of winter. Somebody tell me what it is. All right. 7. Hang in there. I hope you feel better. Going off on me again. I really do. I do have to show this to Mom's support team, Mom's care team, my lawyer, and I do need to show this to the magistrate. So I hope you calm your shit down and really concentrate on recovering mind, body, and spirit, because right now, I don't know. I just, you've got a dark cloud still hovering over you.